What's up, guys? KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from IRL International Racing League F1 2019 on the PS4 platform, and this is going to be F2 Round 7 at Monza. And we finally got the stream back working again on the actual IRL channel. So good to be back where we belong. And we're getting ready to go green. Going to be doing an 18-minute short qualifying session, but we'll do a 50% race here at the fabled Monza track in Italy. And it looks like we're just waiting for a couple more drivers to possibly join, but we'll run down the driver lineup here. We've got Nexus Clone is Jared Fosbury, followed by James Hallworth. Jamie 2905 is Jamie Griffiths. James Jock, Louis Quinlan, Ivan Brito, Joshua Arnold, Andre Pastana, Kevin Harrison, Paco Suarez, Harry Cooper, Luis Wassman, Alexander Bastos, Jonas Bogan, Jorge Correa, rounding out what is going to be 15 drivers for today. And lots to talk about after round 6 at Monaco, which was a really spectacular race, the Monaco night race here at IRL. Jack Yates walked away with his 6th straight podium of the year. He is now batting 6 for 6 on races to podiums ratio. Even though it was his 6th podium, it was only his first win of the year. So if you're only going to have one win, better make it Monaco. And Jack Yates did that to extend on his points lead. And Alfa Romeo has a very commanding points lead as well. Team Alfa Romeo, his teammate Kevin Harrison coming in behind Jack Yates for his 2nd podium of the season. Harrison also picked up his first pole at Monaco last round out. And Andre Zaz in the Red Bull picked up his first podium of the year. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have Jack Yates or Andre Zaz in today's race. But rounding out your points-paying positions was Jared Fosbury in 4th, Cameron Weston-Edwards in 5th, Luis Wassman came home 6th, Andre Pastana was 7th, James Jock was 8th, and Adrian Storm was 9th. Now, 10th through 12th last week was Alexander Bastos, Paco Suarez, and Ivan Brito as they all crashed out. Bastos picking up his first DNF of the year. Paco Suarez had a spectacular crash at the swimming pool section, picking up his 3rd DNF of the year. And Ivan Brito, unfortunately, not having the season that he would like to see. He is now 4 DNFs on the year, leads the league after 6 rounds. And sorry for the dead air there for a moment. Had to step away, but out laps. Got a lot of drivers on their out laps now. 18 minutes is now counting down to less than 16, and nobody's yet to set a time as we're currently looking at Kevin Harrison. I just want to be sure on that. So Kevin Harrison going to be leading the way for Team Alfa Romeo today. No sign of Jack Yates, which is unfortunate, but he's got a very commanding lead in the point standings. So even if somebody wins, they're not going to be able to take the points back. The top of the standings, and I apologize, having some technical difficulties. So let's get some lap data up here for everybody. And Jared Fosbury is the first one across the line to set a time 1:24.59. And immediately Andre Pestana goes behind him, 1:19.923. Joshua Arnold, 1:27.66. And Joshua Arnold is back after serving his race ban from round 5. Luis Wassman comes across the line, 1:21.712. Arnold had a race ban from round 5 at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, and we see just cutting the chicane. That is, even though you set your fast lap and you're not going to do another fast lap, I don't think it's okay to just... And Joshua Arnold disqualified from the session, parked in a dangerous location. So Joshua Arnold's time will be null and void, and he will be starting at the rear of the field. And as I was saying here, as we continue to watch Luis Wassman, even though you're not doing another fast lap, I don't think it's okay to just blow the chicanes and knock debris all over the track. It's something that should be addressed by the stewards and the administrators. And if you're not on a hot lap, then why even have your DRS slot open? So Racing Point was actually a focal point last race. There was some qualifying issues between Paco Suarez and the Racing Point cars last round out, and it looks like we're having, again, some... Maybe it's me being a little opinionated, but some discrepancies here in qualifying once again. Harry Cooper, though, we got to give him credit. He has gone fastest at a 1:19.718 in the Mercedes, and Kevin Harrison does go 1:19.9 in the Alfa Romeo. And Joshua Arnold, as we were talking, was disqualified from qualifying. Going parked his car in a dangerous location. He also had a race ban that he served. He wasn't able to race at Monaco due to he was a lap down and caused a collision at Circuit of the Americas with one of the lead cars. He was ignoring blue flags, so he got a race ban for that. And it looks like we've got a lot of guys chiming in on the live chat. Looks like we got some PTRL viewers. They're going to be looking for Andre Pestana, who's currently third quickest and in the pits. Unfortunately, Jorge Correa has not set a time yet. He's currently out on the track. We'll pick him up in the Haas for our PTRL viewers. Looks like he's making the run through the second chicane now down to Lesmos 1. And it doesn't sound like or look like he's completely on the throttle, so he might be doing a little bit of an outlap here. Hard to say until I can get a sector time to come up. 215 miles an hour on the dash there as he heads through Ascari. A little wide there. Back on the power. And for the life of me, I never understood why this backstretch here isn't a DRS zone as well. Down into the Parabolica, we're going to see what kind of time Jorge Correa can set. Looks like he's going to be a little bit off the pace. 1:21.311, that's good enough for 8th quickest. And he'll go around and do another lap. About 10 minutes to go in qualifying, less than 11. And a shout out to Jamie Griffiths, who's gone 4th quickest in the Toro Rosso, 1:20.349. And it looks like he went a little wide there at Ascari, so 3 drivers have cracked into the 1:19s. That's Harry Cooper, who's on provisional pole, Kevin Harrison, Andre Pestana. He's followed by Jamie Griffiths, Jared Fosbury, who's on a lap, Alexander Bastos with a good qualifying effort, 6th quickest so far, Ivan Brito is 7th, Jorge Correa is 8th, Paco Suarez is 9th, Jonas Bogan is 10th, Luis Wassman 11th, James Jock is 12th, Louis Quinlan is 13th, and James Hallworth 14th. Joshua Arnold will round out your 15 drivers. He was disqualified for parking his car in a dangerous location on the previous qualifying lap, so his time was null and void. Currently watching Jared Fosbury as he comes out of Ascari. down the backstretch and into the Parabolica. Parabolica is such a key corner with this track. This is where you really can lose a lot of time. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Fosbury's going to come across the line, 1:19.734. So that is good enough for... Oh, and then Andre Pastana to the top of the charts with a 1:19.6. So the Haas driver puts in a massive qualifying lap there. And once again blows the chicane. Caution in Sector 3, and James Jock is retired from the session. Looks like he may have had a little bit of an off. Oh, didn't want to do this. So James Jock retires from the session, so he will not have a time. And we're still following along with Andre Pastana. Looks like he's still on the gas as he heads into the Escadre chicane. Number 47 Haas driver at the top of the charts. Got a lot of PTRL fans here rooting him on, cheering for him. Looks like he's off the gas now. 1:19.6, 8 minutes left to play in the session. And here comes Harry Cooper. 1:19.718 in the Mercedes as he heads through Parabolica. This is on his out lap. So we're going to go for a ride with Harry Cooper, see if he can pick up another 1/10 of a second. Comes across the line to start a flying lap now. You can see down on the dash, 217.18. Looks like 219 miles an hour before he slams on the brakes, heading to the first chicane. Back on the gas, ripping it through the gears. You hear the floorboard scraping across the ground. Hard on the brakes into the second chicane. Very smooth through there. Down to the Lesmos 1. Good run out of there. Coming down to Lesmos 2. Using a little bit of curb onto the backstretch. DR slot's going to come open. Now he's above 200 miles an hour again. 210, 213. Looks like 2:15 as he gets ready to head into Ascari. Good run through Ascari so far. Out on the curve, uses all the curves on the exit. Down the backstretch. Once again above 200 miles an hour. This time he's creeping up on 210 as he brakes for the Parabolica. Really good lap by Harry Cooper so far. This is going to be a close one. And he's going to come across the line. 1:19.4. He's able to beat Pastana's time by 0.2 of a second. A 1:19.4 for the Flying Cooper. Harry Cooper on provisional pole with 6 minutes left to play as he blows the first chicane as well. We'll pick up Paco Suarez. He's been able to go fourth quickest now, 1:19.859. Caution in Sector 2. Suarez, he too had some complications last week with some of the Racing Point cars on track. Got tied up in traffic. Had a massive crash at the swimming pool section of the track last week when he was running in the fourth spot trying to make up some time. Massive crash, broke the left front suspension, crashed into the wall, almost flipped the car over. So that ended his day. So a couple of guys coming to make some adjustments. We're going to pick up Jorge Correa. Looks like he is just now starting another flying lap. As he comes down the front stretch, he's on the medium tires. So Jorge, unfortunately, not able to put in a as quick of time as his teammate, Sneaky Pete. Andre Pastana, he's second quickest so far. Jorge Correa, who we're currently watching 10th fastest so far. But Jorge's put a lot of effort going into this year to concentrate on IRL, SRL, and PTRL, which is his own league, of course, the Portuguese Racing League. But he's dropped a lot of other leagues that he was dealing with on the side to focus on those three particular leagues. He had a really good preseason testing with his teammate. and the Haas drivers had a really good outing in preseason in Spa, the pace is definitely there to put some points on the board. They look like they may have been a threat moving into the season for the Constructors' Championship, but Alfa Romeo's walked away with that, compliments of Jack Yates, and no shortcomings of Kevin Harrison with a pole position and 2 podiums so far this year. So here comes Correa. He's going to come across the line, 1:26.59. He does improve his time. Moves up to 8th quickest, 0.6 quicker than his previous lap. Good effort by him. And Jared Fosbury into the pits. He was on an out lap. Looks like he's going to dive in. Maybe make one minor adjustment. Switch over to the softs, maybe. We pick up Luis Wassman. Wassman, we talked about a little bit, some of the dealings that we had to deal with at Monaco. But he's put in a really good effort here. 1:19.787, 4th quickest so far. Currently heading down the backstretch as he gets ready to head into Ascari. It looks like he's off the pace, so he won't be setting a time. Not this time by Ivan Brito in the McLaren. Currently 7th quickest. Looks like some of these guys are heading into the pits. Gonna make one last adjustment, throw on a fresh set of tires. So it looks like Paco Suarez just coming across the line to start a flying lap. And Suarez definitely wants to make up for the last round out where, again, we had talked about he had that massive crash. It was his 3rd DNF of the year. Suarez is a very fast driver. He's struggled with he's had some bad luck this year. So he'll be looking to turn that around here in Monza, currently 5th quickest. Through Lesmos 1. I'm sorry, that was Lesmos 2 coming out of the backstretch now. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Less than 2 minutes to play, so 2-minute warning. Guys on out laps. Going to have to get around quick to start their last flying lap. And it looks like Louis Quinlan has retired from the session. He was 9th quickest. A yellow flag in Sector 1 and 2 right at the changeover. Lots of guys on out laps now. Suarez is going to be able to come across the line. He'll have enough time to do one more lap for sure. And Alexander Bastos retires from the session. Currently 10th quickest, and here comes Suarez, 1:21.490, so he's definitely going to be going around again. Suarez currently 5th quickest, going to hop on board with him. Head down into the 2nd chicane. Lesmos 1. Good run through there. The Mercedes have looked really strong so far this weekend. Obviously with Harry Cooper sitting on pole. Cooper currently on an out lap. We'll pick up Suarez. He heads through Ascari. Runs through Ascari a little wide. That may have invalidated the time. He's still on the gas. And those 210 miles an hour before he brakes for the Parabolica. Suarez with a last-ditch effort. Checkered flag is out. 1:19.433. That's good enough for 2nd quickest. So right now it's a Mercedes 1-2. Harry Cooper on a flying out. Jamie Griffiths is going to retire from the session. And it looks like possibly Harry Cooper, looks like he's off the gas, so Cooper's going to call it a day. Andre Pastana comes across 3rd quickest. We'll pick up Jared Fosbury. He's still on a hot lap, I believe. Luis Rossmann retires from the session. And it looks like Jared Fosbury is going to have to bail on this one. He's done for the day. We'll pick up Kevin Harrison. Harrison running through the Parabolica now. He's currently 6th quickest. Can he improve his time? 1:19.603 moves up to 4th quickest. That drops Jared Fosbury down into the 5th spot. And Fosbury's the last car on track to take the checker. But it's going to be all for naught as he's going to come home 5th quickest. So Harry Cooper with another pole position. This will be Harry's 2nd pole position of the year. He had gotten pole back in Canada at round 4 where he actually went away to win that race. And again, I have to, real quick, here's your starting order. This is Harry Cooper, Paco Suarez, Andre Pastana, Kevin Harrison, Jared Fosbury, Luis Wassman, James Hallworth, Ivan Brito, Jamie Griffiths, Louis Quinlan, Alexander Bastos, Jorge Correa, Jonas Bogen, James Jock, who crashed out, and Joshua Arnold, who was disqualified from the session. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the Portuguese racing fans here that are here supporting Ivan Brito and Ivan Brito, Jorge Correa, and Andre Pastana. A lot of support here on the live stream for them. Got 3 guys here. And from what I can tell, maybe Alexander Bastos as well. So, as we wait for the game to load. No Jack Yates today. No Cameron Weston Edwards. It's a little surprising. He was a focal point from last round as well. Jared Fosbury not happy with the way he felt he was being raced from Cameron Weston Edwards. They had the incidents reviewed after the race, and there was no action taken. So let's run down your running order. Harry Cooper picking up his 2nd pole position of the year. Last time he had done that, he got the pole at round 4 Canada and went away to win the race. Can he do that again today? Paco Suarez will be lining up next to his teammate, and he'll be looking to try and make up for last week's massive crash. Hopefully he can work his way to the front, maybe stay there. Be interesting to see if there's any team orders involved there. Andre Pastana is starting 3rd. Massive crowd support today for him. Kevin Harrison, the lone gunman for Alfa Romeo today. His teammate Jack Yates is nowhere to be found. Can Kevin Harrison work his way to a podium position? And Jared Fosbury, we talked about his rivalry that heated up last week with Cameron Weston Edwards. Edwards is nowhere to be found today, so can Fosbury capitalize on that and work his way to a podium position? Luis Wassman, we talked about. He was a bit of a traffic barrier for Monaco, so we'll see if he can work his way through the field and hang on to some points. James Hallworth will be looking for a good result today. Good qualifying effort starting in 7th. He'll be looking to try and finish mid-pack, put some points on the board for Toro Rosso. And Ivan Brito also has a lot of crowd support today in Team McLaren. So hopefully he'll be able to support his team, Jared Fosbury, work his way through the field. Jamie Griffiths will be looking to put some points on the board for Toro Rosso as well. And Louis Quinlan, he'll be looking to finish a race. He's had a rash of DNFs the last couple of years for Ferrari and in other leagues with Williams, Racing Point. So he'll be looking to try and finish the point, and he'll be looking to finish the race, score some points, and that would be a plus for him. Alexander Bastos, he just missed points last time out. He was running in 10th when he DNF'd, so he'll be looking to try and make up for that. And Jorge Correa will be starting 12th. Look for him to work his way through the field on a pit strategy call. He usually makes some very interesting strategies work to work his way through the field to get some points. Jonas Bogen finally back. He'll be looking to try and put some points on the board, along with James Jock, who wants to make up for last time out where he picked up a DNF. And Joshua Arnold, who has shown some speed earlier this year when he picked up the pole position at Silverstone in the opening round, but has had a rash of DNFs, was disqualified during qualifying, and then had a race ban due to round 5 at Circuit of the Americas, and we wait for everybody to line up. What is going on here? There we go. 5 red lights. Lights are out. Time to run what you brought. Good getaway for Team Mercedes. Harry Cooper. Oh, and one of the Haas's is already into the wall. No, that was Pastana starting in 3rd. He's already fallen back. Unbelievable start. And there's a massive collision here. Everybody's bumping and banging. There's going to be so much wing debris laying around in the first quarter, and they're still bumping and banging. Unbelievable. Can't even keep up with everything that just happened. Somehow, through all that, Kevin Harrison has picked up the lead, followed by Jared Fosbury. Cooper's all the way back to 4th. Ivan Brito picks up a spot, moving to 6th, but he's got wing damage. Paco Suarez is in the 3rd. And Joshua Arnold looks like didn't even start the race. So riding along with Luis Wassman down the backstretch. What has happened to all these cars? You cannot win the race on turn 1, but you can certainly lose it, and everybody, and I mean just about everybody, has got some sort of wing damage or floor damage. And Joshua Arnold's calling for a restart. And I'm not sure that IRL administrators will allow that to happen. Wassman making the pass down through the Parabolica, pick up 6th spot over Ivan Brito. And doesn't look like anybody's coming in to make a pit stop. We got Jonas Bogen coming in. Pastana, unfortunately, is going to have to head into the pits. Unbelievable. That started 3rd. Looks like he got hit from behind, shot across the track. So 2 guys heading into the pits, and we're going to pick up the battle at the front. There's battles all over the track right now. This is basically a 4-car battle. Got Kevin Harrison out in front of Jared Fosbury, who's got Paco Suarez right behind him, followed by Harry Cooper, who started on pole, but he's fallen back to 4th. And somehow Louis Quinlan, through all that, has managed to move into the 5th spot. Good effort by Louis Quinlan to make it through all the melees on the opening round. Joshua Arnold still calling for a restart. He's expressing his displeasure over the radio. And look at them all come out of a scurry. And Joshua Arnold officially leaves the session. And here we go, side by side through Parabolica. Paco Suarez on Jared Fosbury makes the move, but Fosbury now, it's going to be lap 3. The DRS should be engaged, or enabled, as they would say. Side by side, this is going to be close. Who's going to outbreak who? Fosbury makes the move to the inside. Jonas Bogen picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that is going to be a big thing today. Ivan Brito is taking a position back from Jamie Griffiths. Nope, Griffiths is going to be able to get it over top of him side by side as they head out of the first chicane. Side by side as they head down to the second chicane. Looks like Brito's got the position as they head in there. And Jared Fosbury and Paco Suarez swap positions once more. And we've got a 3-way battle going on here. This is Griffiths, Wassman, and Brito. Brito takes the position back through Lesmos 1, and now he's going through Lesmos 2. Runs it a little wide. Griffiths is going to get the power down. He's going to have a good run coming out of Lesmos 2 down the backstretch. He's got the DRS slot open. Brito's going to try and take the more defensive line, but he's not going to be able to hold him off. It's going to be side by side. They almost touch as they head through a scurry. Oh, and it looks like Brito did have a little bit of contact. Then he gets pushed wide by Wassman. And here comes Jorge Correa. To the inside, they're 3 wide nearly as they head into the Parabolica. Correa's going to try and make it work. Can he get the 2-for-1 deal? He's made it by 1. Wassman going back to the inside of the crossover. Now it's a drag race down the front stretch. Correa and Wasman both have the DRS slots open. Who's got the higher top speed? And here comes Ivan Brito in the background. This could end in tears. Wasman's going to be able to hold on to the position. Look at this. Brito tries to do a crossover, and now he's under threat from James Hallworth in the Red Bull. Unbelievable racing here mid-pack. This is a battle for points. See Jamie Griffiths, followed by Wasman, followed by Correa. Correa hanging on to that 8th spot. Unbelievable racing here from these guys. And it all calms down just for a hot second now. Things settle out under that unbelievable racing that we had. Going to go back to the battle for a second now because this is Jared Fosbury still working on Paco Suarez. They've swapped positions a couple times. And the top 4 cars are only separated by a second and a half. Uh-oh, yellow flag, Alexander Bastos and James Hallworth. Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact back there. So Suarez has got the DRS slot open. He's too far back to try and make a move. Harry Cooper looks like though he's getting in position to try and maybe make a move on Jared Fosbury. Fosbury's your defending F2 champion. He won this last year. Well, he won the championship last year. Struggling to get the podium finishes this year due to a couple of instances in the beginning part of this year. And Harry Cooper looks like he lost a lot of time there at the first chicane. So now the top 3 cars are able to pull away a little bit. Luis Wasman, they're looking to make a move on Jimmy Griffiths through the second chicane. Looks like he might have cut the corner a little bit. Hop on board with Luis Wasman, and he's going to get the power down. DRS slot's going to be open. And a 3-second time penalty for Wasman and Jorge Correa as they head through into Ascari. Oh, look at that. That was Ivan Brito. He ran very wide coming out of that last part of Ascari onto the backstretch here. And he is under threat from Alexander Bastos as Paco Suarez runs the fastest lap. And we're going to pick that battle up because now Suarez is all over the back end of Kevin Harrison. This is the battle for the lead. Bastos looks like he is going to get by Ivan Brito to take over the 9th spot. Nose and tail. So the top 4 cars, this is Kevin Harrison, Paco Suarez, Jared Fosbury, and Harry Cooper, have got a 5-second gap over Louis Quinlan, who is running semi-comfortably in the 5th spot. Jamie Griffiths, though, has just closed up on him. So really now the battle has been separated into 2 groups. You've got the lead battle of the 4 cars. And it looks like Harry Cooper's starting to lose touch with the top 3 here just a little bit as they head into Ascari. Paco Suarez picks up a 3-second time penalty heading into the first part of Ascari. And we saw time penalties were definitely an issue last week. Some guys had not served some 5-second penalties that needed to be served. And there was obviously some corner cutting. So time penalties always a factor in this game. They head through the Parabolica. The 4-car parade still running, and then you go 6 seconds back, and we've cut the battle. Luis Wasman here. And Louis Quinlan is going to dive into the pit, so he's going to pit from 5th. And it looks, oh, we just missed it. It looks like it's side by side. Suarez trying to take the lead from Kevin Harrison. Harrison trying to get the power down, takes it back. Suarez into the slipstream of Kevin Harrison's car. Harrison's going to try and take the 4 defensive line. Suarez dives to the inside as they head into the second chicane. Harrison almost blows the corner. He's able to save it. Oh, and no, Suarez is into the grass, and he's into the wall, and he's into the Armco. Big-time crash. And that's the bad luck we've been talking about with Suarez all year. Oh, and he's in the way of another car, and he takes out Alexander Bastos. And there's somebody else into the grass. There was Jorge Correa. There's cars all over the track now. One of the Red Bulls gets James Hallworth, Ivan Brito, and Paco Suarez causes a massive crash, taking out multiple cars. Unbelievable. Through all that, Jorge Correa still manages to hang on to the 8th spot. And now we got a 3-car battle for the lead. This is Harry Cooper coming back to take the lead. He was sitting on pole. Kevin Harrison loses it. Side by side, it's a double slipstream for Fosbury as he heads to the inside with the DRS slot open. Harrison's the only one that doesn't have the DRS slot advantage, and Jared Fosbury manages to get out in front. What an unbelievable turn of events, and Paco Suarez retires from the session. I can't believe what I just watched. And Suarez was having such a good race. We've got multiple cars into the pits now. Guys are going to be switching tires. They're going to be switching wings. What an unbelievable turn of events. And it's hard to say what happened. They were running side by side heading through that second chicane, but it doesn't look like there was any contact between the cars. It looked like Suarez had dropped the left side tires into the gravel and maybe lost control of the car. And Suarez, honestly, he came back onto the middle of the track, tried getting the power down. It looks like the back end kicked out, and it started with Jorge Correa and then James Hallworth and Ivan Brito and everybody that was involved. It was just a calamity corner. And Suarez, I'm going to have to say that was a rage quit, and that there may be a possible review for an unsafe track re-entry at the end of that. That was an unbelievable turn of events, and it's only lap 9 of 27. So let's get a little bit of a grid reset from all that. So here's your top 3 runners. This is Jared Fosbury leading the way. He's being followed by Harry Cooper in the Mercedes. He's followed by Kevin Harrison, who managed to make it through all that as well. Luis Wassman has worked his way quietly into 4th. Jamie Griffiths now is running in 5th. Alexander Bastos running in 6th. Louis Quinlan, who's already pitted, he looks like he switched over to the hard tire. He'll run that all the way to the end. Jonas Bogan is in 8th. Andre Pastana, who started 3rd, wrecked on from the start, has now worked his way into 9th. James Jock is 10th. Jorge Correa is 11th. Ivan Brito is now 12th. And James Hallworth coming out of the pits 13th. So, looks like Harry Cooper is going to dive into the pits. No, that was Jared Fosbury diving into the pits. So he'll be the first of the front runners to make a pit stop. And what I really want to see is where Louis Quinlan is way too far behind. And Jonas Bogan has left the session. I'm not sure if that's an internet issue or a possible rage quit because of everything that had transpired. He's currently running in 8th. And so his car looks like it'll be running AI. So lots of radio chatter going on now about what had taken place. And the cars are all pretty much separated at this point. So lap 10 of 27. Here's your closest battle on track currently. This is Harry Cooper and Kevin Harrison, neither of which have yet to pit. We've got a lot of guys that have made multiple pit stops because of everything that's happened so far. So I try to take a minute here to catch my breath after everything that just transpired. And it looks like Harry Cooper has gone into the pits as well, followed by Kevin Harrison. So Alexander Bastos trying to regroup here a little bit. Alexander Bastos picks up the lead through the pit sequence. Jared Fosbury is able to come out in front of Harry Cooper and Kevin Harrison. So those are your top three drivers still. Because once Bastos pits, it'll hand the lead back over to Jared Fosbury, who went for the undercut, made it work, came out in front of Harry Cooper and Kevin Harrison. And Louis Quinlan will be running in fourth once it's all said and done. But Luis Wassman is closing in on him. Oh, and he pops over the curb. That was close. And right behind him is going to be the Toro Rosso of Jamie Griffith. So battle materializing there. Battle for the sixth spot currently. A yellow flag in Sector 2. Ooh, and here comes Griffiths all over the backside of Wassman's Racing Point. 3-second time penalty for Pestana, who's currently running in the 9th spot. But here we go, side-by-side action as they head into the Parabolica. Crossover move by Wassman. He's going to try and make it work. Not close enough, couldn't get the power down. And Griffiths runs the fastest lap. 1:23.454, but here comes Wassman. Ooh, a little bit of move there, trying a little bit of blocking, tries to take away the inside line. Meanwhile, we've got Jared Fosbury. Looks like he's making the move on Harry Cooper. These two have gone back and forth a little bit. Cooper was trying to get around him. The top three still battling here. Alexander Bastos is currently your leader, 9 seconds out in front of this battle. The Bastos has yet to pit. Into a Escada, and Jared Fosbury still leading the way. Cooper picks up a 3-second time penalty now as well. And Louis Quinlan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Cooper now all over the gearbox of the McLaren of Fosbury in front of him. Now Cooper is going to have a run, and so Fosbury dives to the inside, tries to take away the defensive line. DRS slot open on Cooper's Mercedes, and here we go, double DRS now. Fosbury under attack from the Mercedes of Cooper. Oh, and he makes maybe a little bit of contact. Left front to the right rear. Fosbury now going to try and get that spot back. This is essentially the battle for the lead. Once Bastos pits, this is the three-car battle for the win of this race. And a 3-second time penalty picked up by Ivan Brito. He's currently running in the, looks like he just just lost the spot to Jorge Correa. Three-car battle back here for the 11th spot. And Wassman looks like he's getting around Louis Quinlan as they head into Ascari, so Quinlan's going to lose out on that spot. He's going to try to get it back, though. Oh, no, and Quinlan into the wall! Louis Quinlan. Oh, and the bad luck continues for Quinlan. He was having such a good race. Comes back out in front. So that is going to be Pestana who picks up the 8th spot. Meanwhile, back at the front, still the three-way battle continues, and I do want to give a quick shout-out to Eric Salama, as I've been referred to as, with Eric Penton, who is talking in the live chat. I'm not ignoring you, Eric, but it's my understanding that as a spectator, I cannot invite anybody to the lobby, and I was not in charge of invites prior to the race. So now it's a three-way battle. Continues Harrison trying to find his way around McLaren of Jared Fosbury. Fosbury trying to find his way back around the Mercedes. He dives to the inside as they head to Ascari, and they almost make contact there, almost some wheel-to-wheel contact. Oh my gosh, you could throw a blanket over these three cars. Hallworth picks up a time penalty. Looks like Jamie Griffiths is getting by. And here we go, three cars into the Parabolica. Unbelievable racing by these three. Harrison has got a good run coming out of the Parabolica. And now it is Harrison and Fosbury that are going to have the DRS advantage. And look at this. The two are going to go by Cooper. Cooper holds his line on the outside. Fosbury takes the lead. Harrison tries to take that inside line. Can't make it work. Cooper's going to be able to get the power down. But now Harrison is going to be side by side with him as they head to the second chicane. Cockpit cam. Harrison just can't get out of third for whatever reason. Stuck in that third spot. And now this group here is actually starting to gain time on Ivan Brito. And Alexander Bastos. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't want to get everybody's hopes up. Alexander Bastos, you can see the three-car battle in the background there. So they're able to see Bastos. Bastos should really take advantage of pitting now. He's got the ability to pit now and possibly come out in fourth or fifth spot without losing too much time, and he's going to be running those hards. And he hasn't lost a whole lot of time, as we see here. Here comes Cooper now. He's going to dive to the outside. So now Cooper takes the lead back in another lead swap. So Fosbury takes the second spot back. And Eric Pettinen chiming in a live chat. And I wish I had an answer for you, Eric. I don't know why you were not given an invite when you said you could make the race. Invites are sent out by Jared Fosbury, and Jared usually does a pretty good job of getting everyone an invite, so something you would have to discuss with him after the race. As we continue to watch this three-car battle here as they head to Ascari, too wide. Cooper's going to take it back. And Kevin Harrison. Harrison looks like he's biding his time, maybe. Harrison, I think maybe he's trying to take a little bit more cautious approach. He's trying to stay with these two cars here, but maybe hoping that they would make a mistake. And Alexander Bastos finally pits from the lead, so the battle for the lead now is official. Side by side, and this is the battle for the lead now, and Fosbury to the inside. Cooper gets pushed wide, jumps over the curbs. And now Harrison finally able to take the second spot, so that's kind of what Harrison, I think, might have been waiting on, is a mistake by one of these guys to try and see if he can get a position. And now Harrison is going to be able to get the position, so Harrison's now the leader. Fosbury's going to follow behind him. And still no separation between these three guys, and I really want to give them credit for some very good, hard, clean racing. Minimal contact. Nothing done with any malice. And Alexander Bastos was able to pit and come back out in the sixth spot. He is 4.5 seconds behind Jamie Griffiths in fifth. And he is 4.5 seconds behind Jamie Griffiths, but he's 7.5 seconds in front of Andre Pastana. And yellow flag in Sector 2. Oh no, and it's Jorge Correa. And Correa, unfortunately, he is going to want to forget about this race. He had some really good pace. He was battling mid-pack for some points, but it looks like he's had another off. He was involved with that wreck with Paco Suarez. He had contact at the beginning of the race heading into turn one. So a day to forget for Jorge Correa as we watch Jared Fosbury. Now, Fosbury and Harrison have been able to gap Harry Cooper now by a second. So Cooper's lost touch with this lead battle. So a little bit of separation now as we watch the battle for the lead. It's a two-car battle now. Ooh, out of Lesmer's too. Almost a little wide there. Looks like he was late on the brakes. Cooper's not completely out of touch in this battle, but he's not going to have the DRS advantage. Like 10 laps left in this unbelievable race. And they're starting to get spread out a little bit now. The question's going to be, can Harrison hang on to the lead? He's actually gapping Fosbury a little bit, even though Fosbury's got the DRS. He's been able to gap him coming out of these chicanes here a little bit. You see there, Alfa Romeo is able to pull away just a little bit, gets the power down a little bit better than Fosbury's McLaren. And Jorge Correa picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's too bad for Jorge Correa and Andre Pastana. A lot of crowd support here today in the live stream for those two drivers and even Ivan Brito. And it has not gone the way for the Haas team or Brito for that matter. Harry Cooper still trying to hang on. He's about a second and a half back. He's been a second and a half back now for the last couple laps. Fosbury hasn't been able to find a way around. Oh, and you can see there, Cooper goes very wide coming out of Ascari. Jamie Griffiths now picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And with all this time penalties being assessed at the end of this race, it'll be interesting to see how that's going to change the running order or the finishing order when this is all said and done. Fosbury's still trying to find a way around Kevin Harrison's Alfa Romeo. Sauber does not exist. In fact, we're going to hop on board with Jared Fosbury now. Fosbury very smooth through that chicane there. Good entrance and exit of Lesmos 1. Looks like he struggled a little bit with Lesmos 2 a couple laps ago. Gets a good one there. Harrison is definitely hitting his marks and just making this very hard for Fosbury to just get a good run on them. They're basically running the same lap times. The only time there's ever any increase. And you see their great run out of Ascari for Kevin Harrison. And we're going to pick up Alexander Bastos in the Renault having a good run today. And I know Eric Penton will be happy about that since that is his teammate. So a good showing by Bastos as he's closed the gap up to Jamie Griffiths now for the 5th spot. That'd be a great run for him. Oh, but he runs very wide there at the Parabolica. Looks like he had a little bit of aero wash on the front wing. Car pushed wide. He's got the DRS slot open, going to try and make a move. Griffith's going to take away the defensive line. And Alexander Bastos able to take over the 5th spot. Is he going to be able to hang on to it? So a good outing for him, and he's got Griffiths still all over the back of him. Griffiths looks like he's going to try and make a move heading down to the second chicane. He's got a good run coming out of the corner. Not close enough, though. James Jock picks up another 3-second time penalty. We're going to try to keep tabs on that now as we go back to the battle for the lead. This is Kevin Harrison out in front, the Alfa Romeo. Jared Fosbury in the McLaren. And it looks like they have definitely separated themselves from Harry Cooper. It looks like Cooper may have overheated his tires, starting to get a little bit of loss of traction. He's now 2 seconds behind this battle for the lead. And Paco Suarez on the live chat giving his explanation of what happened, and it is exactly what I thought it was. They dropped the left side tires into the grass and lost the car, went into the Armco, and then obviously caused the havoc which transpired. And it looks like he may have had a miscommunication with his crew chief. So, unfortunate turn of events. That's 2 DNFs for Paco Suarez in a row. Actually, that's 3 DNFs in a row for Suarez. I'm sorry, make that 4 as I look through my notes. Suarez now. Actually, Suarez, you may have had 5 DNFs in a row. Let's take a look here. Suarez had a DNF back in Silverstone, unfortunately. Had a DNF in Austria. Looks like you finished 10th at Mexico. And then picked up another DNF in Canada. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 DNFs in a row for Paco Suarez, unfortunately. Struggling this year, has had some bad luck. He's a very fast driver. He's a very good driver, but he's definitely had some bad luck this year. And Louis Quinlan, who was running 13th and had such a good day up until he spun at Ascari a few laps ago, is now DNF'd. And unfortunately, that is nothing new for Louis Quinlan. He has struggled with that all year. Fosbury closes the gap. To Kevin Harrison, so Louis Quinlan's going to officially lead the session, get a caution in Sector 2. We've got James Hallworth now trying to make a move on Ivan Brito. The Red Bull trying to get around the McLaren. This is down the backstretch, it looks like, into the Parabolica. Jared Fosbury picks up a 3-second time penalty. That may cost him at the end of this race. I don't know what everybody's time penalties are. So Brito going to try and get that spot back from James Hallworth. Side by side as they head down into turn 1. Brito gets the position back because of the DRS and is able to make it stick. Oh, and back to the battle for the lead because it looks like it's heating up through the Parabolica. Looks like Fosbury's going to have his best shot now at trying to make this work. DRS slot open. Here he comes. He's got ahead of Steve as he heads to the inside. And Harrison's so good on the brakes there. Turn 1, crossover move by Fosbury. Can't get the power down, and the Alfa Romeo able to hang on to that top spot. Meanwhile, Bastos makes the move on Luis Wassman. And Bastos moves into the 4th spot. And Alexander Bastos has left the session. What is happening here? Makes the move, picks up the 4th spot, and he's gone. I don't understand. He must have had an internet issue. That is too bad for him. He had such a good run going. Meanwhile, Ivan Brito gets the spot back from James Hallworth down the front stretch. Lap 24 of 27. And Jared Fosbury, we missed it, but Jared Fosbury is able to finally get around Kevin Harrison through the Ascari. And now they're going down the backstretch, and Harrison's going to be looking to make a move on the outside of the Parabolica. Gets it back without any DRS. So Harrison has definitely got his car trimmed out to the max as far as low downforce goes. As Harrison was able to take that spot back, and here comes Fosbury one more time down to the inside. And again, Harrison's so good on the brakes. Fosbury with a good, smooth crossover move. Tries to get that power down. He's almost side by side with him. Trying to side draft off of him a little bit. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to be the last of the late breakers. Who's going to get it? Fosbury in there. May have cut that chicane a little tight. You can see Harry Cooper is still in the background there, 3.5 seconds back from this battle. And Cooper might be in the catbird seat because if something happens between these two drivers, Harry Cooper could easily take this win and steal it away. Side by side again, Harrison goes around. He had the DRS advantage on that one. Through Ascari. And Jared Fosbury could just not find a way to get around Harrison and stay in front of Harrison. Two laps to go this time by as Ivan Brito still battling with James Hallworth, takes that spot back through the second chicane. Hallworth trying to come back around at the Lesbos. He's got James Jock right there. So this is a 3-car battle for the 8th spot. Meanwhile, Fosbury with the DRS slot open, back at the battle for the lead. Oh, and Harrison now. That got a little messy. It looks like he went in a couple extra meters there, deep on the brakes. Oh, yellow flag. Ivan Brito has been spun at Ascari, it looks like. And that was that 3-car battle we were talking about. That was James Hallworth, James Jock, and Ivan Brito. So he falls out of the points, unfortunately. That moves Jorge Correa into the last points-paying position for 10th. And here we go, the battle back for the lead. So much action going on throughout the whole course of this race. It's been unbelievable. Harrison now is going to try and get that spot back. 2 laps to go. And Fosbury able to gap him finally just a little bit. Through Ascari. Harrison's got to make up a little bit of time now. He's almost a half second back. That's the largest lead Fosbury has had. And Jamie Griffiths picks up a 3-second time penalty. Time penalties are going to be really interesting to see at the end of this race. I can't wait. Fosbury, for once, is able to lead a lap. Harrison, though, is going to have the DRS advantage. He's going to fly by him. That car is so trimmed out. And Fosbury dives to the inside. He cuts that corner very tight. Tries to get that power back down. Last lap. This is the white flag lap. 1 more to go, and Fosbury still trying to find a way around Harrison. They're side by side at the head of the second chicane. Harrison takes away the defensive line. Look at this, he blows the corner a little bit. Fosbury to the outside. They're going to try and go side by side through Lesbos. It's not going to work. Harrison's going to be able to hang on to the lead. Fosbury's all over the gearbox of the Alfa Romeo now. Harry Cooper coming back into the fold. He's made up the 3.5 second time deficit. He's now within 2 seconds. And here comes Fosbury with the DRS slot open. There's a 4-car battle in the back as Alexander Bastos' car pits from the 10th spot. Fosbury's got the lead coming out of Ascari. Down the backstretch, heading into Parabolica. Here comes Kevin Harrison. Harrison's going to dive to the inside. Fosbury's going to take away the outside line. They almost make contact at the Parabolica. Harrison's not going to be able to make the move. Jared Fosbury's going to hang on to this win, but what about time penalties? Kevin Harrison's going to walk away with the win because of time penalties. Jared Fosbury falls to second. Harry Cooper comes across third. Luis Wassman, as we see Ivan Brito come crashing across the line. Luis Wassman will be fourth. Jamie Griffith's going to come across the line in fifth. Andre Pastana, who's had an up and down day, will be able to come across the line in the 6th position. And James Hallworth retires. He didn't even finish the race. He retires from the 7th spot. That hands it over to James Jock. There must have been some contact at the Ascari. James Jock is going to come across the line in the 7th spot. And that means Jorge Correa, after everything that he's been through, comes across. So Jorge Correa looks like he picked up the 8th spot. unbelievable race. Kevin Harrison picking up a much-needed win in absence of his teammate, and that is 2 weeks in a row that the Alfa Romeo drivers have picked up their first wins of the season. So Kevin Harrison picking up his maiden win of the season for Alfa Romeo, followed by Jared Fosbury. Fosbury crossed the line first, but because of time penalties, loses out on it. Harry Cooper started on pole, but will pick up his second podium position of the year. So here is your finishing order. As of now, this is Kevin Harrison, Jared Fosbury, Harry Cooper, Luis Wassman, Jamie Griffiths, Andre Pestana, James Jock, Alexander Bastos, Jorge Correa. Jonas Bogan will pick up the last points-paying position. James Hallworth crashed out. Ivan Burrito, Louis Quinlan, Paco Suarez, and Joshua Arnold, who did not apparently get to start the race. Unbelievable turn of events, and we've got some chatter here going on the live chat, and we're going to see if we can get some of these guys in here for interviews. Hang tight. We'll get Jared Fosbury in here, and he can invite the guys. Luis Wassman expressing why couldn't they have crashed. He would have picked up a podium position. So here we have Jared Fosbury. We'll get him to get the other guys in here.
Yeah, I'll do that now. 1 second. It was Cooper and Aspect today who was on the podium as well.
Yes.
You'll have to invite him because I've suggested them for you. So.
Gotcha. Hang tight. And while we wait, we'll start with Jared Fosbury. Unbelievable race for you. You came across the line first, but too many time penalties dropped you to second. How would you rate that race today for you?
Well, I think it's probably the best race I've done from my time being in IRL. Better than last season, and better so far the best I've done. It was an amazing battle with Kevin and Cooper. It was a surprise with Cooper coming back, of course, after he left and he's come back. Did some decent pace, and we knew it was going to be, me and Kevin knew it would be a struggle to challenge Cooper today, but I think when the Mercs had a bit of a bad start, it was just get ahead of Kevin, try and win this race. But unfortunately I got a penalty right at Sky around about 3 laps to go, and it annoyed me. I thought, I've got to get past him, get a 3-second gap, and it was going to be hard to do, but Kevin today was astonishing to keep in that battle, so was Cooper. Unfortunately for Paco crashing out and by touching the grass. People thought behind it looked like I touched him, but there was no contact at all. He just touched the grass and lost it, and he says that as well. But no, it was great to have a podium finally at last after a few races. I've had a bad race and a few other incidents. But no, best race all season so far.
And speaking of your time penalty and trying to get around the Alfa Romeo of Harrison, I mean, was your car just not as trimmed out as his? It just seemed like you couldn't find the speed to pull away.
It's Italy. It's a slipstream party, basically. It is hard to pull away from a car, but I had lower wings than him. I believe he was running 2-something.
2.3.
I was running 1.1. Because I found that was the quickest for me. Lacked a bit in the turning, but either way it still worked out, and I still got a decent quality position and decent race position in the end.
And we do have Kevin Harrison with us. Congratulations to you, another Alfa Romeo driver picking up his maiden win of the season. Way to represent in the absence of your teammate Jack Yates. How would you rate your race today, going up against toe-to-toe with Jared Fosbury for just about the whole race?
Yeah, the race overall was really fun. There was, like, I mean, up until near the end, Cooper dropped off, but like most of the race was me, Jared, and Cooper going at it for the win. At the start, well, my actual start was amazing. I think I started fourth to get 3 positions off the start, and leading to turn 1 was not part of the script. Yeah, I was happy to be able to be leading into turn 1, and after that, I lost the 2 positions to Cooper and Jared, and I just kind of stick behind, kept all my tires in check, kept the fuel and ERS in check, and I was hoping that they'd make a mistake or something. Neither of them did, obviously, but yeah, I didn't want to wreck my tires fighting, so that's why I stayed behind at the start, and yeah, it ended up being me and Jared to the end, and it was a good race. GG to Jared and Cooper, all race really, on the podiums.
And speaking of Harry Cooper, that is the second time you've had a pole position this year, and in both instances you've been able to finish on the podium. I mean, how would you rate your race? You fell out a little bit there at the end, but you're able to start to creep back in as the laps winded back down.
Yeah. One sec. This is the race I most enjoyed in a long time. I don't usually get into many battles for long, distance of time. I always end up in collision or something, but Kevin and Jared kept it nice and clean. It was actually really enjoyable. I was with them for about 21 laps. Then I was dropped off because I had to save the RS with fuel, and yeah, it just didn't really go to plan. Could have possibly won it if didn't have the penalty and maybe managed my fuel and ERS better. But well done to Kevin and Jared. Really enjoyed it.
Well, I want to say a big congratulations to all 3 of you guys. You guys put on a heck of a show today. I mean, that's some of the best driving I've seen between 3 guys, and really 4 if you want to count Suarez up until he wrecked. A lot of good, hard driving, clean driving, and that's a good representation of what this league is about. So props to all 3 of you, and to Suarez up until he dropped his wheels in the grass. So congratulations to all 3 guys. That's 2 podiums for Harry Cooper this year. That's 2 pole positions, and Jared Fosbury getting a much-needed podium to try and get himself back into championship contention. And then obviously Kevin Harrison walks away with his maiden win and capitalizes on points for Team Alfa Romeo, even though his teammate wasn't here. So way to keep the streak going, guys. Congratulations to all 3 of you.
Thank you, KAMIKAZE-FOX.
So everybody be sure to check us out next week, which will be round 8. Spain Circuit de Catalunya at Barcelona. Something like that. And you'll be able to check out the stream on the IRL YouTube channel. That's the most important thing. We finally were able to get that fixed. So be sure you like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel below. Check us out on the web, internationalracingleague-irl.com. And be sure to check us out on Twitter. I believe that is at F1_IRL. Is that right, Jared?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
At F1_IRL on Twitter. So be sure to check everything out. And we'll see everybody at the next round. Congratulations to all 3 drivers today. We'll see you guys at the next round.
Daddy, pop up here if you want to order.